This is the Lyndsay Stafford Show.
Welcome back to the Lyndsay Stafford Show. Thanks for tuning in. I've got a special guest here today. Ashley Pack is with us today. She's a local business owner in Middle Tennessee. Ashley and I actually met through our boys who are now, well, mine is almost 16. Hers is 16 in high school, but we met when they were in kindergarten.
Yes.
Which is crazy to think that we've known each other that long and that the boys are where they are. I actually remember, I just had a flashback, Ash, of us sitting at the cafeteria, outside the cafeteria at College Grove Elementary
I do remember that.
We could bring in lunch and the boys were at the same table and you and I were both there on lunch visiting them, which I was able to do that. I think we both did that a lot when they were in elementary school.
Yeah.
And that was
because we've always had sales jobs, I guess.
Yeah, positions where we could be flexible with our schedule. Yeah, so funny how things come full circle. But I work with Ashley in a couple different capacities, and her company, she has a couple businesses. She has a payroll company that actually manages my company's payroll, and we refer a lot of our clients to your company as well. And then you have a new venture you started. So tell us a little bit tell us who you are and what you're up to, Ash.
So I'm Ashley Pack. I also live in College Grove with Lyndsay, and we have a farm at my house. So that's always very important. I like to tell everybody that. I have worked for Heartland Payroll and HR for about 4 years now, and they're doing a name change. So it's going to be RS. And I'm excited to start that adventure with them and get that going. It's really like I own my own payroll company, except that they provide all the software and all of that good stuff so that I can, and then, an onboarding team to help me with payroll specialists and things like that. And then I own a staffing and recruiting company. So that also is very helpful when I go into businesses. I can help them with multiple things. So that's always very nice to be able to recruit and help companies that are missing those key employees that they need.
Yeah, and that's a common challenge for companies, especially smaller, mid-sized businesses, under 5 or 6 million, where the owner is oftentimes also an operator, and making changes to their talent is very difficult because it takes them out of their day-to-day, and they're usually very entrenched in the operations of the day-to-day.
Yep.
So that's super helpful that you were able to do that. I love that I always talk about businesses in the same sphere, right? So like what we do at Stafford Solutions, we do coaching, consulting, marketing, and they all work together and they all feed each other because businesses kind of need all of those things. And that's sort of what you've been able to start creating with your new venture that you started this year.
Yep. So payroll and HR, onboarding of new employees, hiring and staffing for them. So a lot of things that we do, we can blend into what you do. So it kind of really helps us to still continue to be business partners.
I know it works out great. And I love being able to refer people. So talking about payroll, gosh, a lot of companies, what do you think like the average annual revenue is for businesses that you work with? And maybe you don't know, because I don't know why you would see their P&L. But.
Yeah, so I don't typically see their P&L for anything. I can probably guesstimate, but I think that a lot of people, I'm looking at employee size.
Yes.
So when I'm walking into a business, that's usually one of my first questions to ask them, how many employees do you have? And typically it's around, I have a lot of clients, but in between 10 and 250, I guess you could say, is what I've currently got right now. I can take on larger groups. And usually that requires like a white glove service that's involved with that. So it's always really nice.
And even small, like thinking about small businesses where they only have 1 or 2 employees, you can still serve them. I know you do, because I know we share some clients that I've connected you to that have only a couple of employees. What about 1099s?
So we service everybody. So
I know the answer, but I want you to tell the audience.
So a lot of times, like I'll have certain like brokers that only have maybe they have one assistant. I'll do their payroll, and typically they have like one salesperson that's probably a 1099 that I can actually I can do their payroll for them too as well. And usually sometimes they want an additional little HR help and things like that. But they also maybe want recruiting as well. So that's also very helpful.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you see business owners face when maybe they're not using a payroll system, because there's that point in business where you're like, okay, I just started my business. And, we were sharing a conversation prior to the recording of like a conversation I had with another smaller business owner that's kind of starting to grow. And I've given them like, okay, you got to think about this now. Don't forget about this. And at what point do they need somebody to do payroll?
Right off the gate.
Yeah. So talk about what you've seen.
So I've seen a lot of employers basically start their new business and have employees, and they'll be paying them via Venmo, or maybe they do actually give them a check, or, but are they keeping up with any of that in a bookkeeping system? There's a lot of just different variables when it comes to making sure that they're doing the right thing. And payroll and bookkeeping needs to be the first thing that they think about. And then maybe their payment system or, whatever else they're using. But bookkeeping and payroll are key, or you're going to get in big trouble with big fines.
Yeah.
And so it's always really nice to meet those new business owners. And a majority of my clients are new business owners, which is very interesting to me, because a lot of times it's not the ones that have been around for a long time. They've pretty much settled into what they're doing.
Sure. They
want to continue to stay where they are. And by all means, I'm not wanting to take them away from that. If it's working for you,
don't change it.
Don't change it. But the newer companies, they really need the help. They really need the guidance. And if they get you and I in the same room, we can offer them a whole lot of guidance. So that's always really nice.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, I think about some of the people that we've been able to help together, and businesses that don't have anyone in the human resources department that may not have systems in place. So we come in and help put those systems in place. And then we partner with you and say, okay, well, if you need, infraction write-ups or, termination or whatever, this is
policies and procedures.
Yes, all the support is right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that stuff is right here. And smaller business owners, like a sole proprietor who has no employees, no 1099s, like totally doesn't necessarily need to have a payroll system.
No.
But if they go to an S Corp and they're paying themselves, they do need to have a payroll system, right? So can you talk about some of those scenarios?
Yeah. So, you and I have probably a couple of shared clients like this, and they are they're the sole business owner, but they are paying themselves. And so it's very important for them to have an outsource payroll system in place to keep up with that for them. So they're staying within compliance. They're making sure that everything's done the correct way, so they aren't receiving those fines on the back end. So that's always really important for those sole people.
Yeah. You gotta have somebody in there. And, when I think about the trying to do it yourself, I had this conversation with another business owner today, actually saying, are you keeping your books up? Right. Because that's another thing with new business owners. They don't have a bookkeeping system. They probably don't even have a business account when they start.
No, they usually don't.
And you got to streamline things.
That's the worst part, is getting a bank account for some reason.
Well, they could make it a little easier. I mean, you have to bring in like a sample of blood. Not really, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
It's like you need all this. We just recently did this for the nonprofit that I'm the vice president of for the EIC with Reframing to You. And it's like, we'd have all these forms and you're waiting for this to get that, to get the bank account. Then all members have to be there.
I know.
So it's like 7 of us at the bank, It's not an easy process. But the thing is, if you slow down and do it, you don't have to do it all over again. You do it once, you set it up, and then it's in place. And you just let the system roll, especially with payroll services. And you guys are very affordable for your payroll services.
Yes, we try to be. I can price within a range. So I like to stay within that range. So if it's a new business, I try to take in consideration that they're a new business and they need, they need that.
Yeah.
We also have a 3-year price lock. So basically the price I'm giving you is the price for 3 years.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Always really nice. And then when it comes to staffing and recruiting, I tend to be on the little bit of a lower end, just because I'm not a big staffing and recruiting company. And I also know what it's like to be a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to keep my percentages a little bit lower.
Yeah, which is great. You're able to provide great service and you do a lot of work locally for both of those things, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So a business owner that doesn't have a payroll service, if you don't want to get in trouble, you need to have somebody else doing your payroll. Venmo, if Venmo and PayPal come up, there's especially if you're using it to pay people that are doing work for you, it's not okay. In fact, my bookkeeper, who is, we share, we work a lot together, Vance with Connection Bookkeeping, who's amazing. Basically, it was just like, just shut down your Venmo. Just like, don't use it at all for business because it makes things complicated.
Yeah,
it's
it makes it really complicated.
And it's not that hard. I have had to say to people, like, I can't Venmo you. So like, I can write you a check, or I can you can talk to my assistant and we can do a transfer into your account, but I can't Venmo you.
Yeah, it's a huge red flag, and they can track it. And so all they have to do is look up you as the business owner, and then they can see everything that you've written off or given away.
Yep. And
they'll go into extreme questions of like, who is this? Do they work for you? Why are you Venmoing them?
Yep.
And so then there's those fines that are outrageous.
Yeah.
Some of them are $60,000.
It's just not worth it. It's not worth it to do it that way. And so even if you're a smaller business and you only have a couple 1099s, but you're not using a payroll service to make sure you're legit, like, I think this is so important for business owners, the financial piece. A lot of times they're really good at what they do, their craft, whatever their business is, but the operations piece, they don't know how to even start.
They don't.
So getting set up with something on, I don't work for QuickBooks, but it tends to be a pretty good system. QuickBooks, a bookkeeper, and then getting someone to write the checks for you for payroll, because you guys also make sure we're meeting all the requirements for,
Yeah, we're actually doing your 941s too.
I don't even know what that is.
And your year-end.
But you're doing it for me.
Dues.
So thanks.
Yeah, your quarterly taxes, and your year-end. So your W-2s, your 1099s.
I do know what those are.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we do those for you so that you don't have to worry about it.
This is why I don't even know what it is.
Because she lets me worry about it. So
Ashley handles that. And you find the people that are really good at, they're experts in what they do, and let them do what they do and just stay in communication.
I feel the same way.
Yeah. There's no reason not to. So that's what I'd say about that in terms of, just business advice. I think start before you're ready. Like, you need a credit card for your business that's just for business, a bank account that's just for business. So you don't mix it with anything else. It is business expensive. And then you need some kind of bookkeeping system. If you don't want to do it yourself, you need to hire a bookkeeper. Let's say you're a pretty small business. You don't have a ton of transactions.
Yeah.
So you may not need a bookkeeper every month, but hire someone to help you get set up and to teach you how to do it. You can do that.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize you need to set up your business account to QuickBooks. You need to set up your credit card payments to
Connect it to QuickBooks so that it's automatically, everything's going through there.
Yep.
And then you've got to dedicate time each month to go through and right size everything and make sure it's all evened out. And if you're not going to do it, then you need to hire someone to do it. And that's the thing that I always say, like, this is not I'll get to it kind of thing. You got to do it. And so you got to have somebody that's doing it for you. And the same thing is with payroll. Writing paper checks to somebody is because you're missing. Like, what happens if a business owner is paying through Venmo or PayPal and they say, I'm paying $20 an hour. Okay. And so I'm paying $20 an hour and you worked X amount of weeks, X amount of hours. I'm writing you worked 10 hours. I'm writing you a check for $200 this week. And you write the check for $200. What's wrong with that picture?
They're not reporting it the correct way. So that's the problem. So if you're not reporting it to the IRS in the right manner, then you're going to get fined. And so they will come after you. If they're writing a check, it's better than them Venmoing.
Sure. Yeah.
All day long. But you still have to keep up with that and make sure that you're keeping it up with it in your books.
Yeah. And you have to make sure it's categorized properly, right? So if you use a payroll system, like my bookkeeper never has to ask me, what was this for? Because it's payroll. It's just that we know what it's for. It's for employees.
Because it's categorized.
It's payroll, right? It comes across. But if you're not doing that, then you're opening yourself up to all kinds of challenges.
Making it very difficult on you. Yes. and then can actually shut your business down. I've seen that happen before too. I've had meetings with several different businesses over the years, and a few of them have shut down because of the fact that they did not do things the right way. And it wasn't because they weren't good people.
Yeah.
And their business model was not a good model. It was the fact that they didn't do things the right way.
Yeah. They weren't being compliant. And then that just opens you up for enough challenges that can actually cause you to have to close.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've talked to you about this before too. Like I know of several restaurants that got hit by audits, and they came in and they asked them, what are you allowing them to have breaks? Like they were calculating their breaks. They were making sure that they were having, they were clocking in at the right time and then clocking out at the right time, and then actually getting tips on their checks, or were they getting tips in cash? They were going all over through the entire onboarding of whatever was happening in the restaurant. And a lot of restaurants got fined because they didn't keep up with the hours, or they didn't do things the right way. And there's just a lot that involves, a business owner doing the right things.
It's along the lines of right thing, and it's also along the lines of your area of expertise. But there's a lot, and you and I have had a lot of conversation about 1099 versus W-2. So I'm pretty well versed in what each of those mean, because you and I have had a lot of dialogue around that as we categorize all of my team members.
Yeah.
But can you walk us through, because I think that this is an area that people lack education on.
Yeah. So a 1099 is going to be like a contract employee. So they're going to be somebody that you don't require a uniform for. You don't have them actually clock in and out. You cannot tell them to be at a certain place at a certain time, because it's kind of got to be more like a sales role. Okay. I've got to go find business because I've got to get paid. And so if you're requiring your team to be that way, then that's fine. That's how they're a 1099. But if they're a W-2 employee, you can require them to have a uniform. You can require them to be there at a certain time and clock in and out. And you can actually keep up with them a little bit better when it comes to things like that. And when it comes to W-2s, a lot of people don't realize, but your payroll taxes every year actually can be somewhat of a write-off for your business. So it's very important to kind of stay in touch with the irs.gov website, making sure that you're a business owner that's well-versed in all of these different things that you have to be well-versed in. Because if you're not, then you're just kind of flying solo, not really doing things the right way. And, it ends up getting you in trouble in the long run.
Yeah. And because we've had so much dialogue around this, I know also for if you provide equipment for them, that is the W-2 employee.
Computer, cell phone. Yeah. Yeah.
All those things. So
truck.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
I'm thinking about construction.
Yeah.
workers.
Okay. That's fair. I was like, I don't know any small businesses. Well, I guess that's true. A lot of builders, they would, right?
Yeah.
Provide
They have
vehicles.
1099 employees a lot of times, and they may require them to have they may give them a truck.
Yeah.
And so it's just better to
make them a W-2. Yeah.
Stay away from that. And then in the long run, there's always write-offs.
Right.
So I'm always telling business owners, there's write-offs for you all right now.
Right.
The work opportunity tax credit. I talk about that all the time. I talk about, your payroll taxes. I talk about the extra credit thing where you can actually give your payroll funding basically to a nonprofit, and it can be written off every year. And so it's just really good to make yourself educated in those areas. And if you need to reach out to Lyndsay or I.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you have questions, don't call me. Call Ashley. I am not the expert in this. I know enough to be dangerous with it, but I am not the expert. I guess I'm technically an expert as knowing more than the average person. I guess I probably am in that sense. But as far as ranking of expertise, Ashley is way better than I am at it. I know enough to know that I'm making the right decisions in my business. And that's what matters to me, and to help my clients make the right decisions in their business.
And I think she knows that if I see her doing something wrong, I'll tell her.
Yeah, you're going to tell me, because we're good partners like that. And I think communication is very clear and consistent with us, which is great. But for someone who has questions, first of all, there's a lot of resources online. So like, use AI, use your resources online to kind of figure out what you need if you have questions. But when you want to talk to a real human, because there's nothing like talking to an actual human, reach out to Ashley for this, because she can help you understand what your misses are and where you might be, helping you to mitigate some risk if you're not doing things the right way. So if your business is not professionalized and you're kind of doing it sort of, then here's your sign. Give her a call and have her help you get legitimized in your business to mitigate some of that risk, because it's just not worth it.
No, it's not.
None of it's worth it. You got to know.
It's a terrible slope to be on, to kind of be in that range, because you just don't want to get in trouble like that.
No. And when it comes to payroll, there's a lot that goes into it, even for a small business, understanding all the nuances of it. I think about payroll every other week because I review it with my bookkeeper / CFO to verify. That's one of our activities every other week we go to that we do together. But other than reviewing it for accuracy, that's the only time I ever think about payroll is, all right, yep, we're good. Nothing's missing. Everybody's got what they're supposed to have, all those things, and we're good. So I think that you take a lot of that weight out as a partner there.
Well, and a lot of business owners, going back to the one business owner that we know that, is maybe not doing things the right way, but, you have state taxes that you have to pay, unemployment, not only do you have to pay, the IRS, but there's other things you have to take care of.
Right.
And so it's just nice to know that somebody knows what they're talking about.
Yeah. Having people in your corner. Just, if you're not going to do it, you need to hire someone that's going to do it right. That's just like really what it comes down to is
teach you how to do it.
Yeah. Get someone to teach you. And if you can commit to doing it, that's great. But if you're not going to commit to doing it, you need to hire someone to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I have house cleaners.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. If I do it, it's not going to be well. So I'm going to hire someone to do it. Same thing with payroll, right? Yeah. And it's one of those things that I think because it's not a revenue generating item, people don't want to go out and invest in it, but it really makes sense. So I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about your recruiting piece of your business, because I know that's something that you started in 2025, kind of organically grew like most businesses do when you add a leg to your business, because there's a need and it's there and you can solve it. So talk to us a little bit about what you're doing in that piece of the business.
Yeah. So in January of 2025, I saw a lot of businesses that basically were reaching out to me saying, hey, do you know somebody that I can hire for this?
Yeah.
Or I have an empty space in this. Do you know somebody that I can talk to? And so, I'm out networking all the time. And so it's so easy for me to be like, oh, so-and-so's looking for administrative assistant. So-and-so's looking for this.
Yeah.
And so, and my husband too helps me out too as well. Cause he'll be like, oh, so-and-so lost their job and they're looking for another one. I bet they would be really good at concrete, or I bet they would be really good at, sales and marketing. And so, there's just a lot of just different ones that I've hired for throughout the year that have really turned into great hires. And I've had a 100% stick rate at this point. So it's been really
awesome,
nice. And and I found a little niche that I was actually good at, where I could actually find a employee to fill that seat. So it's been really a really good kind of extra thing for me to do this year. Of course, I want to grow the staffing side of it. And so a lot of people don't realize, okay, recruiting is basically you hire me to recruit a specific person and you pay me a percentage of their salary, their annual salary. Staffing is where I actually take on the staff as my employees. I pay them from my payroll, and then I release them to you to be at your facility, wherever that is. And then you pay me an hourly rate for those people. I've had a couple of contracts this year. They, of course, have kind of, I've done those and they've been done and now they're finished and I don't have any more.
Yeah. It's a short-term
So
thing.
it's very, it's one of those things where I need multiple of those to kind of stay, active with that. So I am looking for more staffing possibilities. And I would like my niche with the ones that were the concrete. So I was actually hired to find concrete guys to do concrete moldings. And so that was one that was really really nice to kind of have that. But I've been looking at hotels and things like that to also staff for. So
isn't it so fun growing another part of the business? I have so much fun thinking about how do you do this and what's the right best next best thing, and then also like looking back and going, oh, I'm going to do that differently next time.
Yeah. Well, and you have to find where the need is. And so I have a few hotel clients already that have already reached out to me and said, hey, we need some front desk people. We need some house cleaners and we don't want to take on the workman's comp liability. And so I, of course, have a workman's comp policy that's, able to cover all of them.
Yeah. It's so great. So where can we find you, Ashley, online?
I am everywhere.
Tell us all the places.
So I have a Facebook. Right now I'm changing everything.
Oh, okay.
So I need to change everything. But right now, Ashley Pack on Facebook.
Yeah.
APAC0825 on Instagram. And then I have my.
Is that your birthday?
Yeah.
I knew it. We're both. Are you a Leo? You're like on the cusp if you're not a Leo.
I'm a Virgo, I thought.
Okay.
But then
I'm the 19th.
Didn't they change it?
I hope I can't keep up with it if they did.
I think they did.
I'm a Leo. I'm the 19th.
But and my sister's the 24th. So we're just, a whole family full of.
Whew, it's a lot of Leo energy in there.
So, but yeah, so I'm on all those different sites. I'll give you more of the information too when I get back home.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes too. We'll have everything there. Ashley, you are balancing a lot with being a wife and a mom and a farm owner.
Jonathan does most of it.
And the kids. Doesn't Hank do a lot of it?
Hank does some of it too. He feeds the pigs mostly.
How many pigs do you have?
We have 2 right now.
Okay.
We want to get rid of all of the pigs. So if anybody wants
They're
any
so sad
pigs.
to hear that. Do you need any barn cats?
No. I have 3 cats right now.
We have 4. We just had to rehome one to a barn because he's not an indoor cat.
No. You find some of those cats.
Yeah. We always rescue cats. And so what I have found with rescue cats is you're taking a chance because sometimes they don't want to be rescued. They want to be outside.
No. So right now we're feeding baby cows.
Oh.
And so Jonathan had gotten a couple of babies that we've been bottle feeding them. And I like bottle feed calves because they grow up thinking that you're their mama.
Oh my gosh.
And so now I have this one big Angus cow that we bottle fed her. And she thinks that she's like my baby.
Oh my gosh.
And so every day when I get home, she comes up running up to the fence and she wants me to come over there and love on her. And she's 1,000 pounds. I swear.
Gosh.
And she is just the cutest thing. But yeah, I love having all the animals, but sometimes it's rough.
There's a lot of workload that goes with it, right? I mean, I feel that, and we just have cats. And we had dogs in the past, and it's just a lot of work. We love our cats, but Dave and I both say no more. When these are gone, then we're done.
When Jonathan gets home every day, he has his government job that he works for, and then he comes home, and then he goes straight to the back, and he's feeding donkeys, he's feeding cows, goats, pigs, and then we have 5 dogs and 3 cats.
How many acres y'all have?
Total about 50.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. But how much of it is mowed?
So we just actually had our lady that bush hogs for us is Christy. She lives out in Eagleville. So I'm sending a plug for her, but she comes over.
Christy in Eagleville.
Yeah. She comes over and bush hogs a lot of our property. So.
Oh, that's good. So you have somebody else doing that part.
We're actually Kayla's boyfriend is having a party there. His 21st birthday party.
Oh my gosh. On the farm?
On Saturday, yes.
How did you get into a farm, Ashley? Like, how did that even happen?
Well, I grew up in Nolensville.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was raised, kind of out in the middle of nowhere anyway. Back in the day, like Nolensville was like cow
Outskirts,
farms.
yeah.
Yeah. And so when Jonathan and I met, he kept telling me, I got to buy land off of Nolensville Road. I got to buy land out here, And there were so many times where we should have bought land that we didn't. And finally, I guess it was like 2010 and then 2015. Yeah. It just kept coming. And so we just got in there at the right time.
And then you just kept buying animals.
It was total luck.
And then you just kept buying animals to add to it.
Yeah.
So what's your ideal now with farm? What would you like to have on there?
Well, baby cows.
That's it.
I would be okay with just cows.
Yeah.
I don't really want the goats, even though they're cute.
Do they help keep the grass cut
Mm-hmm.
by eating it?
Yes.
Have you seen Clarkson's Farm, the show?
Yes, I love it.
I love Clarkson's Farm. I wanted to come back.
I know.
Like, where is it?
He came out with new episodes.
Shut it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to tell Dave.
I think we just watched
We're watching it tonight.
2 months ago.
Oh, really?
I think they're on Apple TV, maybe.
Okay, I'm going to have to text him in between podcasts. Please get Clarkson's Farm ready for tonight. It's hilarious.
So we love Clarkson's Farm, but yes, the goats. So Jonathan's endeavor, like what he wants to do, okay, after he leaves what he's doing, okay, he wants to get an excavator, and he also wants to get the goats, and he wants to basically lease them out to different people that want land cleared. And so what he would do is go to their house or to wherever, fence off the goats, put our guard dog in there with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically they would eat everything that they want eaten. And then he'd come back and pick them up. And
why wouldn't someone just have it cleared?
Because people like the organic way.
Oh.
So not only are you getting goats like eating the grass, but you're also getting...
They're fertilizing it.
They're fertilizing at the same time. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so, yeah, it's a good, clean way to get something done. And that is his dream job. So,
oh my gosh, tell him to do it. That's like...
I know. I keep telling
him to do it. Go make
it
it happen, Jonathan. Come on now. You know, the border collies that we once had, they're gone now, but we had them for 7 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And we adopted them from... the company is called Go Geese Go. And they have 40 acres in Ohio. The owners of the company and the property are my parents' good friends from college. So I've known them my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And they have several dogs. They have a 15-dog kennel on the property. Beautiful, air-conditioned heat. They take great care of the pups. But when Pat started Go Geese Go, I remember when my dad telling me he was starting this company, sending dogs 2 at a time out with a handler. And they go, they run on the properties and get rid of the geese. They go twice a day.
Yep.
And that's their business is the dogs are the laborers.
Yeah. They have a job. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have one Anatolian German, Anatolian Great Pyrenees mix. Her name's Honey. And she stays out there with the goats.
And she watches them.
She does her job.
Yeah.
And so we had a couple of calves killed last year by coyotes.
Gosh.
We had a couple of sheep last year killed by coyotes.
Wow.
And finally, Jonathan had enough, and he said, "Hey, we've got to get another dog. That's actually gonna, I have a Great Pyrenees in my house. That is not a working Great Pyrenees at all.
Were they supposed to be a working?
Yeah, but he came from the pound, and he's Kayla's dog, and so there's no use. She dresses him up in Halloween costumes, and
that was like the male that we had. He was supposed to be a working dog, but they would take him out to work, and he would just lay down.
Yeah, see,
he was lazy. That dog would walk 5 miles with me, but put him to work, forget it.
I know. Conway, he lays in my house all day long. His name is Conway Twitty, and he lays in my house all day long. He only goes outside to go to the bathroom. He eats everything, and I mean, So Honey is outside, and she's about the same size as Conway. So she's about 200 pounds.
So she does a good job.
Yeah, she's giant.
So we'll have a new business coming from the Pack family in the next few years.
Yes.
What are we going to call it?
I'm going to make him do it.
Go Grass Go? I don't know.
Yes, something. We've got to come up with a good
I think
name,
we need to do it.
Goats on the go or...
Yeah, I love it. Something about land clearing with the goats.
There's other people out there that do it.
Oh, really?
And I'm assuming they make a good amount of money doing it.
Well, it's got to be worth it. If you're doing it, it's got to somehow make sense if other people are doing it.
Either he's going to do that, or I'm going to start using the goats for goat yoga or something like that.
Oh my gosh, you could do that. We have all these business ideas.
Yeah.
Such visionaries here at this table, Ashley.
Now we just got to find somebody to run them all for us.
Yeah. We'll just be an idea factory. Come on, who wants to do it? Amazing. I'm so glad we got to talk a little bit about the farm. I'm like fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited for all that you have going on in your business and still being able to be home focused on the family and doing things at home with the farm and the kids. And your kids are older now. And your daughter has her own business too. Both of our daughters have their own business, but let's give her a plug.
So Kayla is an esthetician. So she does facials, eyelashes, eyebrows, things like that. Right now she currently works at the Lash Lounge in Murfreesboro. She was at the one in Franklin, but she moved over there. And she will eventually have her own space.
Yeah. So Kayla Pack, if you're looking for those services, she's very talented, doing a lot of good work. Yeah.
She's young, but she's talented.
Yeah. Young is okay. As long as you're paying attention and learning and have good mentors. That's all that matters. Isabel, Isabel has her spray tan business.
Yeah.
She's freaking great. Like her spray tans look amazing.
Yeah. I need to come to Isabel.
You do need to do it.
Yeah.
She doesn't like when I do her because she's like, Mom, you're doing it wrong. Mom, don't you remember this? I'm like, I do one every month for you. You got to coach me through this, girlfriend.
I know. I love it.
For her last pageant, it was a little heavy on her chest. And she was like, Mom, it's so dark right here. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm not a professional.
I love it.
I just have you.
Well, and you can lighten it up with lemon?
Yeah, she knows how to handle all that.
Yeah.
I mean, she's so good at it. She really is. But she learned from Nikki, who was great. So when you have a good teacher and you're a good student, then it doesn't matter if you're young. As long as you...
It doesn't.
Right, as long as you learn.
Anything, as long as you put your mind to it.
I love that. Let's close on that. You can learn anything as long as you put your mind to it. Ashley, it's always a pleasure. Love having you in my life as a friend and a partner in so many different business adventures, and so grateful for what you're doing. I just want to reiterate, this is something I'm pretty passionate about, like small businesses, having things done right so that you are protecting your business. And if you don't have a payroll service, but you have 1099s or employees, then you need to get one and at least talk to Ashley, get some information. And if you need some support with staffing or recruiting, she's a great resource for you as well. So thanks for being here, Ashley. Always a pleasure.
You.
I can't believe you haven't been on my show yet until now.
I know.
So crazy. I'm glad we did it.
I love it.
It's time.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, whether you're watching or listening. Thanks for being here. And if you have a business owner friend and you think they might need to hear this, share this episode with them. You might be able to really help change their lives and their future by giving them the right resources. And if you found value in this, please like, share, rate, review, and watch us again.